Unfortunately, this escalation which took place was predictable, and the Israeli authorities in the recent weeks did not hide that they were getting ready to strike objects in Iran. At the same time, the United States and a number of allies not only did not try to talk the West Jerusalem out of this dangerous thing, but stated directly or indirectly that Israel had the right to do this. It is our view that such aggressive actions on the part of Israel are aimed at further stoking the flames of war are unacceptable and need to stop. We have to state yet once again that West Jerusalem is not ready to give up on its choice to resolve all of its conflict situations with neighbors exclusively by force. Madam President, we would like to thank the Swiss presidency for convening so quickly of the meeting that we requested together with delegations with Algeria and China, namely the Security Council emergency meeting on the situation of the Middle East. And we're also grateful to the Assistant Secretary General Khaled Hiari for his briefing on yet another level of escalation in the area of Israeli-Arab conflict. And we took note of the letter disseminated by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Republic Iran, Arakchi, which contained the information about what happened. As we know, during the night from the 25th to 26th of October, Israeli Air Force delivered strikes coordinated with the United States on a number of facilities in the provinces of Tehran, Elam, and Khuzestan, as a result of which 4 Iranian service members were killed. If it weren't for the successive work of the air defense systems of the Islamic Republic, which was on high alert, then the number of victims, first and foremost among civilians, would be very different. Unfortunately, this escalation which took place was predictable, and the Israeli authorities in the recent weeks did not hide that they were getting ready to strike objects in Iran. At the same time, the United States and a number of allies not only did not try to talk the West Jerusalem out of this dangerous thing, but stated directly or indirectly that Israel had the right to do this. They acted very responsibly because they provoked a new spiral of violence in the Middle East that way, instead of trying to make sure their protagonists refrain from a new exchanges of strikes. Furthermore, as far as we can say, Washington, in addition to that, provided West Jerusalem with intelligence information they needed for the strikes. This is not only a violation of international law, it destabilizes an already charged situation of the Middle East, which is already balancing on the brink of war. In this context, we are very concerned by the growing explosive escalation between Israel and the Islamic Republic of Iran. It creates real threats to stability and security in the region, and we urgently call all of the parties involved to show restraint and violence and make sure that the developments do not take a catastrophic turn. All of the protagonists have to find themselves the strength and wisdom to get out of this spiral of uncontrolled escalation. We are very disappointed by the fact that this is not the first airstrike by Israel against countries in the region. Since the beginning of the escalation of the Israeli-Palestinian confrontation, Israeli Air Force several times bombed Syrian and Lebanese cities, and a number of political eliminations, including the head of the Executive Council of Hamas, Haniyeh, the Secretary General of Hezbollah, Nasrallah, and a number of other leaders of movements against Israel. Now, West Jerusalem is trying to involve Iran in confrontation. Iran, which is showing unprecedented restraint under the circumstances. It's very difficult not to have the impression that West Jerusalem is intentionally raising tensions, despite these signals from Tehran that they are ready to refrain from further spiraling confrontation. It is our view that such aggressive actions on the part of Israel are aimed at further stoking the flames of war are unacceptable and need to stop. And we urge Israel to refrain from the practice of provocative military actions on the Middle East. This could lead to major consequences to the region itself, which is already destabilized because of the escalation of violence surrounding the Gaza Strip for over a year. Madam President, members of the Security Council have to do their utmost to make sure that the region does not tumble into a new war against the background of a continued military operation by Israel in Gaza and Lebanon. We are very concerned by the disregard shown by the Israeli authorities with United States condonement of the position of the entire international community to have an immediate ceasefire. We have to state yet once again that West Jerusalem is not ready to give up on its choice to resolve all of its conflict situations with neighbors exclusively by force. Their determination to act that way is something that they have because they have the support and cover from its American allies who provide Israel with weapons and block any attempts on the part of responsible members of the Council to stop the Israeli military machine, which is killing the peaceful situations, and to prevent this region tumbling into war. Obviously, the reason of this new round of violence is to be found in the fact that the Palestinian-Israeli conflict is not settled on the basis of Security Council General Assembly resolutions. We think there's no alternative to a ceasefire in Gaza, accompanied by exchange of hostages and prisoners and organizing an unimpeded humanitarian assistance access, and this would be in line with the interests of all reasonable players in the region and outside. We call at the same time on the United States to be responsible about their duties as permanent members of the Security Council and allow the main UN body entrusted with the task of maintaining international peace and security to use all of their tools at their disposal to stop the conflict and implement the existing resolutions on the Middle East settlement. This is the only thing that can lay the foundation to relaunch the peaceful process for the settlement of the Palestinian issue on the internationally acknowledged basis, on the basis of the principle of two-state solutions. This is something that we always speak in favor of. This is the only scenario that can keep the Middle East region from a large-scale confrontation, which is fraught with the most disastrous consequences for all states, including Israel. I thank you.